Hello and welcome to Girl Let's Talk. I'm your host, Erica Milbourne, and tonight I am so excited. I have the honor and privilege of bringing to you a beautiful mom, wife, business partner, motivational woman of motivation, just an all-around encouraging young lady that is definitely someone that is a role model for young women, women of older ages, and women of just of all ages, all races, and from all over the world. So I want to introduce to you my guest tonight. Her name is Keri Washington Ba. Welcome, Keri.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Exactly. And when I hear your name, the first thing I think, you know what probably most people think?
Yes.
Keri Washington,
the actress.
The actress.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that at that time your mom had no clue that your name was going to be the exact same name
I know.
as an actress.
No idea.
No idea.
Yeah, it's weird. People actually think they named me after the actress, and I'm like, she was really big after I was born, so now. But
well, the funny thing is, for me, my name is Erica, and I was named after an actress. In the 70s, Erica Kane from All My Children was so popular. My mom loved her, and she was like, you know what, I want a girly girl. I want a girly girl. So I have two other sisters, and my mom kept saying, you know what, they were girly girls, but they weren't like me. And my mom wanted a girly girl. So she ended up with one that likes hair and makeup and jewelry and purses and
I love that.
Clothes. Yeah. So I am named after an actress.
I love that.
So
That's
it's so
awesome.
good to know that you are unique, because you really weren't named after that.
Yes, I was not.
So just so our viewers get to know who you are, tell me, who is Keri Washington Ba? And start as small or as big as you want, but let us find out who you are.
Yeah, well, thank you. First and foremost, thanks for having me on the show. I'm so excited to be here. Wow, that is almost loaded. I'm so many things, it feels like, right? Wife, as you mentioned, mother, an associate partner at a Fortune 500 company. So working woman, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a niece, right? So there's all of
the
these
babies.
facets.
There's our babies.
Those are my two children. Karis is 16 months and Denzel, and it's not Denzel Washington. I lost that fight to my husband. He's 5 years old.
Awesome.
But they're just the joys of my life. And there's my family with my husband on my daughter's first birthday. So, so many things. And one of the biggest things that I love about every aspect that I'm in when it comes to people's lives is being able to be a mentor, being able to be a motivator, right? Those are the things that inspire and fulfill me. And, I give glory to God because he's been able to bless me with some great opportunities to touch a lot of people's lives.
Definitely. Well, you know what? It's just amazing because being a young mother has its challenges. Being a wife has its challenges.
Absolutely.
So we want to, let women know that you are here with Girl Let's Talk to be motivated, empowered, enlightened, and just to know that you're not alone, because there are so many women that are trying to understand that juggling act, because it definitely has its barriers, and it definitely can be confusing when you're trying to juggle family, life, business, and then you're like, how do I do all this? Because you know what, there is no manual. No one gave us that book that said, okay, at 8 a.m. you'll go to work. At 9 a.m. you'll go to lunch. At 10, and I'm just using numbers, And then at 6 o'clock you're going to go home and you're going to be a wife and a mother and cook and you're going to clean and you're going to just be all these things. And then around 9 o'clock, which people say is the ideal time to go to bed, which never happens for me. I'm always going to bed 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning because I'm trying to... so how do you balance it all? Like, how do you juggle being how do you juggle being a wife and a mother? Because that's a difficult task for a lot of people, being able to be that everything for their husband.
Absolutely.
And definitely being that influencer, that teacher, that role model, and that caregiver for the children. How do you do that?
That's a great question. I think you have to do the best that you can with what you have. You have to work within where your capabilities are, right? I think a lot of times we really stretch ourselves thin and we're thinking, I need to be doing this and that. I actually saw a meme the other day on social media, and it was a woman with like 8 arms, and she's doing the laundry and cooking and cleaning, and the child's on her leg. and she's washing dishes and there's a laptop with Zoom, and I'm like, this is my life, right, in a picture. But I think a lot of times we put a lot of pressure on ourselves as women to just be everything to everybody. We have to focus on prioritizing. I mean, my mother always tells me, like, if you don't pour into and do self-care for yourself, it's hard to pour into other people, especially your children. So the work-life balance is important. I think at the beginning of every day, I set a to-do list. And I actually make sure that I get through them. Generally, when I get into my office, I want to focus on how am I being efficient and effective, right? I'm in the now. I'm at the workplace. I'm making sure I'm getting done what I need. And then when I get home, I really try to make an effort to turn off work, which can be very difficult in my role. But you know, just understanding that every moment counts, even if it's not a ton of moments. I think often we think as women, if we're not staying home, we have that guilt that we're not with our children, but if we're not working, we have that guilt we're not fulfilling.
Providing.
So correct. So if we can really focus on how am I prioritizing myself in the now and the priorities that are needed, whether it's, you know, like you said, putting the kids to bed and getting that me time.
Or just your husband and wife time.
And
because that has to be difficult.
It's gotta be
and
important.
So many relationships find that tug of war because the husband's pulling. He's like got one arm saying, I want my time. I want my time.
He's like another child sometimes.
You know, he's at the skirt. He's at the skirt, you know, pulling at the skirt. And then you have the children that are saying, Mom, I'm not done. And excuse this, but the children are basically saying, Mom, I'm not done breastfeeding. I still want that attention. I need that. And I related to breastfeeding because that's that bonding time that a baby looks forward to.
Absolutely.
And then our children, even like with Denzel being, you know, Denzel being 5 and Karis being 16 months, they're like, Mom, Mom.
100%.
And you have to balance that. Are there times where you find that to be difficult?
Absolutely. I think, you know, you mentioned something really, really important. Prioritizing time with your spouse because they are your partner. It's going to take a lot of communication because we are still human beings at the end of the day. We're not perfect. And so understanding that, you know, it's not, you're on the same team. And I think a lot of times when you are so over inundated and you're bogged down with work things and everyday things, you're not really prioritizing your spouse as a team. And a lot of times I find that when it comes to my children, I have to remember that they have only been on this earth for a really little amount of time. So, you know, we really try to practice grace with them and understanding that, you know, when they want something now, they're not understanding the big world. It's smaller people, smaller problems, but they're still problems.
But for them, they're big problems.
They're big problems.
For us, like we're big people with big problems. And some people say, oh, that's nothing compared to my problems. And little kids, little people, because we don't call them little kids, little people we call them little problems, like they want a bottle.
Missing a toy.
They want a toy. And I'm saying, that toy,
that little tiny
we
toy.
can always go to Walmart and get another one. That toy is gone. So for our viewers, just so you know, we are interviewing tonight with Keri Washington Ba. She's an associate partner with and financial service professional in the financial services profession. She is an associate partner with New York Life Insurance. Keri began her career at New York Life Insurance in May of 2018. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we've already
made
5 years associate partner in 5 years. So it can be done when you balance. She was an agent that specialized in helping families, business owners, and individuals with their financial planning. She's had a successful career as an agent, enough to gain and earn national recognition. Yay! What kind of national recognition? Because, you know, I have to stop there. Whenever we are honored in any setting, I like to take a moment to shine a spotlight on it. And I think that's worthy.
That.
What kind of recognitions have you earned?
I've been on a lot of company national panels, and I've been able to speak and be recognized across the industry and company as one of the top producers and top advisors and agents. So that's been fantastic. And I've also been on a training and development team where I've been one of the top members of that team. So that's been a fantastic experience. And just being able to really pour into the agents and advisors and teach them and develop them. I've had the wonderful privilege of being able to do that all across the country. We have a lot of offices across the country, so being somebody that's a pinnacle part of that has been very rewarding.
Well, you know what? It does sound to me like you've gotten this juggling act, I won't even say down pat, but under control. We just got it under control. I like to think
sometimes, but it doesn't feel like it when I'm in it.
Trust me, I totally know there are times when I think I got it, and then it's like all HE double hockey sticks break loose. And I'm like, what just happened?
Right.
So I definitely get it. So you know what? We're not going to belong the hour because we're going to take a break right quick.
Absolutely.
And then we're going to come back. But please don't go away because we have so much more with Keri Washington-Ba as we talk about life, balance, and careers. So stay tuned. Don't go away after these commercials. We'll be right back.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or an email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network, ready when you are.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Hello, I'm Erica, owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious dessert. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love. You know, I just love that beat. Girl, let's talk. And that beat together just makes you want to talk even more. Yes. So if you're just joining us, my guest tonight is Keri Washington-Ba. Welcome, Keri.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Keri is a mother. She is a wife. She is a daughter. She is a sister. She is a friend. And most of all, she's an associate partner with New York Life Insurance. So we're not going to dive right into that because, you know, my topic for that, so you can marinate on it, is GoFundMe account versus life insurance. So I just want you to think about that. You know, are we going to rely on a GoFundMe account when it comes to our final decisions? Or are we going to invest in life insurance? So, and there's so many other aspects, but those are the two I want you to ponder while we discuss more and while we do some little more girl, let's talk. So, Keri, tell me, people are like, where did you come from? Where you come from? What education do you have? Just tell us about Keri and where she comes from. Where's Keri from?
Absolutely. So I'm actually from Mercer County. I am born and raised in Ewing, New Jersey.
Okay.
As of recently, I've moved to a little further South Jersey, which I guess this is considered South Jersey,
yes.
but the Columbus area. So I've been living there. I actually went to school at Pennington Prep, which is in Mercer County, and then went on to the College of New Jersey. So I always joke that like my college and my high school were actually on the same road.
Okay.
And I attended the College of New Jersey. I'm a legacy. Both of my parents graduated from there. They met and were married.
Wow, nice.
And I actually played women's basketball, as did my father and my mother. So complete legacy when it comes to that school. We weren't biased at all by the decision, right?
Sounds like it to me. Sounds like you had no choice. Yes.
No, it was a great experience, and the good thing about it is that high school actually really laid the foundation, just because we had such a great experience. I'm one of 4.
Right.
I've got a twin sister.
Oh, nice. Double the trouble.
Sister,
Double the trouble.
And a younger brother. And so we all attended private school, and I'm so grateful that our parents gave us the opportunity to just have an extensive educational experience.
Well, that's good. You said private school. I actually went to public school.
Yeah.
And I think that school, whether it's private or public, is what you make of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. There's different opportunities at both levels.
Sure.
However, education is so important. And with you being what I consider a role model, what would you tell not just young women or young girls, but also young boys, the importance of education and pursuing that education, setting a goal, and being dedicated to going to school and getting all you can get?
Well, you just made a fantastic point. It's really what you made it. We grew up in the public school system until high school, which is when we did attend private school. But, realistically, especially in today's day and age, it's so important to find something you have a passion about.
Right.
I always say that, I have an MBA, and so I have continuing education. But realistically, when you attend these higher education universities, you're going there to learn how to network, to make connections, to forge your path and develop into the person that you want to be, right? I mean, educational classes and math classes and English classes are fantastic, but you're really going for the experiences that you're able to gain. I personally, especially being in the financial world, continuing education is huge. So allowing yourself to obtain securities licenses and designations, right? These are all things that are important. And so I encourage anyone, if you have a passion in anything, continue to study it. Continue to hone your skills. I don't care how old or young, right, you are. I like to say wise, not old.
Wise, not old.
That you are.
Older, wiser.
Correct, wiser.
Yes, exactly.
But there's always learning that can be done at any level. So the more that you continue to gain that knowledge, the more arsenal you'll have when you interact with people.
What's funny to me is going through college, getting my associates, and I got mine from, at that point it was called Cumberland County College. It's now called South Jersey Rowan, South Jersey, whatever, because, they changed the name.
Sure.
Here's the money, change your name. Basically, that's what it is. So I went to Cumberland County at the time, and got my associates. From there, I went to Rowan University in Glassboro and got my bachelor's. And I found one of the complaints I had, I was at the time, I was saying, why do I need art appreciation? I'm not studying art. Why do I need, music appreciation? The electives. Right. And then I realized one day I was in conversation and I realized the importance of those electives. You don't really realize the importance of the education until sometimes you get in a conversation. Then I was able to speak of the things that I had learned. I took astronomy, and I was like, oh, I can talk about stars. So, and then I found that I loved astronomy.
Right.
I loved history. So there were certain things that I just found or thought were not necessary. And I'm like, oh, they're just taking my money. I'm like, girl, let's talk about it. Let's keep it real. Girl, let's talk.
Right.
So I was thinking, oh, they're just taking my money. I got to take these electives. I got to take these courses. But it wasn't until, like I said, I got into certain different circles. Different conversations were being had. And I realized that I had so much to input because I had so much put into me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at the time, I was resisting. So I was like, I don't need to learn this. This is just taking money. I want to graduate, blah, 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 blah. But I say that because when you're talking about, the importance of knowledge, these are all things that make you a well-rounded person, and you can talk in any circle that you're in. What class did you have that you found, off the top of your head, what class did you have that you were like, oh, why am I taking this class?
Oh my goodness, there's probably quite a few. But during my time studying for my MBA, I actually took a class on coaching.
Okay.
And I thought it was interesting because I had coached and I've played, I played college basketball, I played soccer, both at very competitively high levels.
Okay.
And I always felt like, oh, I know how to coach, right? Why do I need to actually study this? But I found that after taking that course, it made me so much more of a better coach because it really looked into the ideologies that we don't even think about when it comes to approaching a situation. And quite frankly, if I can add a second, I know you asked for one.
You're fine. Go ahead.
A psychology course that I took in class, that really paved the way for me years later, realizing that I liked mentoring and studying people's thought and what's going on behind the scenes. So maybe in a second career or second life, I'll do something with psychology. But that fascinates me. Really, is what are people day to day? What are their experiences? How are they thinking? And so that's lend itself to be able to make me a lot better at my role as an associate partner because I can now sit and actually engage with someone with the intention of really getting to understand and know them deeper.
And I totally agree with that because in a previous life for me, I worked in the communications field. So I communicated daily, with people from all walks of life. And I found that if you're not well educated or well diverse or well knowledge, like your knowledge level isn't there, those conversations can go all different kind of ways. So I worked doing customer service and sales. So I found that I had sociology and I had psychology, and I was like, oh my gosh, those classes really do come into play in your knowledge level and your day-to-day dealings with people. So I totally agree with that.
I love that.
Definitely. Let me tell you, I want my money back. However, it was definitely well worth it. So if nothing else, I think that you should take away from at least this segment and this conversation the importance of education. No matter where you're trying to go in life, whether it's, to be the CEO, whether you're just trying to grow your own personal business, whether it's just being able to communicate well with others, it is so important to gain knowledge and education. And once you get it, I just think no one can take that from you.
It's powerful.
It's powerful. Oh my goodness. I mean, I just love the fact that, you have asserted yourself and you said you played sports. Well, NBA is going on right now because you said you played basketball.
Oh boy. I know where this is going.
I'm just talking.
Okay.
I think one of the things women need to realize is that girls love sports too.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Look at her whole face just got all serious. She just went a whole yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
So we're not going to talk about Cowboys and Eagles. That's not where we headed.
That's where I thought we were going.
No, we're not, because we already know Cowboys rock. We already know. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a Cowboys fan, and I take every chance I get to put that plug in. Whether it works here in South Jersey with Eagles fans or not, but I can coexist.
Okay.
I can coexist.
I'll work with that.
But the NBA is on. And, you being an ex-basketball player, your father played, I think, international basketball, professional internationally. Your mom played through high school and whatnot, and college.
My
who's going to win?
Played professionally as well.
Your husband played.
Yeah.
Who's going to win?
I mean, I really have my money on Denver, and by money I mean none, because I don't bet at all. I'm the worst at that.
It's that fake money.
It's in my mind, right?
Yes.
But I really think Denver's going to pull it out.
Okay.
I love Jokic's game.
Okay.
I think he just does a fantastic job of commanding the floor and getting his teammates involved. I mean, I'm a major LeBron James fan, and I think that any player, and this is how I like to play. Now, I'm not comparing myself to him in any facet, but any player that can really just fill every stat category, right? They're there to play great defense. They contribute offensively. They're contributing, when it comes to steals and block shots. And so he just embodies what the game of basketball is. I know it's a less traditional style of that fast-paced, flashy game, but he does such a great job of getting his teammates involved. So I don't know if the Heat have enough to really, pull it out, but I think they'll make it competitive. But I think in the end, Denver will take this one.
So as you know, we are not here to talk about basketball. However, that does lead me into my point. All this knowledge about basketball, who might win, who's able to play at their highest and at their best. When someone in your circle passes away, do you have the knowledge that you need to help them with that final transitioning? Or do you bet? Do you roll the dice and bet? So with that being said, here on Girl Let's Talk, don't go away, because when we come back, we're going to talk about the bet. Are you rolling the dice with a GoFundMe account for your loved ones? Or are you checking into that life insurance or need life insurance? If you do and you can't answer either side of that question, don't go away. We'll be right back, because we're going to answer that question for you with more of Girl Let's Talk right after these messages. Hello, I'm Erica, owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious dessert. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love.
Imagine living without pain. For over 35 years, Doctors Beebe and Doyle have helped thousands of people find relief from all types of pain. Millville Chiropractic Center has 4 doctors on staff specializing in hands-on or light-touch, drug-free pain relief methods. The examination, x-rays, therapies, and adjustments are all performed at one location. Schedule a consultation today. Enjoy life without pain and discomfort. Millville Chiropractic Center, the area's #1 pain relief center.
I'm Brian Lankin, 3rd generation business owner, Al Shoes. Been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off, $25, and $10 off 100 if you mention that you've seen this.
Vineland, New Jersey is a place rich in innovation and deeply rooted in hometown traditions. The city's agricultural legacy, where brands like Welch's and Progresso originated, lives on today alongside companies producing the critical pharmaceutical packaging we depend on. While Vineland continues to grow, it retains a quality of life enriched by cultural diversity and an abundance of nature's playgrounds to enjoy.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. We have something for everyone at VinelandCity.org.
Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Hello, I'm Erica, owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious dessert. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love. And welcome back to Girl Let's Talk. So my guest tonight is Keri Washington Ba. She's an associate partner with New York Life Insurance, which also is not just about life insurance, college planning, retirement planning, long-term care, individual disability, business solutions, and just so much more. So, Keri, before we went to break, we were talking about the NBA. You said where your money was. Your money was on Denver. So, for those people that have money on Denver, take a few pennies back and let's put your money on some life insurance. And that's my recommendation, because so often, Keri, I hear or I see people with GoFundMe accounts when their loved ones expire, and I'm like, why didn't they have insurance? Like, why didn't they just pay that $20 a month or that $40 a month, and they leave nothing behind. And unfortunately, in so many communities, we leave behind debt. Yeah. We leave debt for our loved ones. I mean, what's the importance with insurance? I mean, GoFundMe, let's start here. Yeah. GoFundMe account or life insurance? If you had to put your money on one, which one would you put your money on?
Well, probably a life insurance policy, right? I mean, I can kind of hear in your voice. It's really heartbreaking when you hear these stories of people that just didn't do the proper planning. Right. I'm obviously not going to get into the weeds so much today, right? I know we're on Girl Let's Talk. I'll keep it high level, but it's so important to just have a plan, right? And I think that's any facet in life. I think I've really touched on that in terms of when it comes to the work-life balance, when it comes to just all the things that you're doing as a professional. You just want to have a plan, right? And a lot of times that plan may be outsourced to a professional that can help you with that planning. But at the end of the day, just kind of putting your head down and saying it'll get figured out when it does is not a plan, right? Something written down, something put in place. And again, if you need a deeper conversation with a professional, then allow yourself to do that.
Because I know I had a friend once, and we were talking about life insurance. And I was thinking, the importance of life insurance. You really need a policy. What if something happens to you? What are you going to do? Well, what they said was, my mom, my family, my friends will bury me. And I literally was awed. I was in pure awe. I believe, if you could have looked at my face, that my bottom jaw probably dropped to my chest, because I was like, are you serious? And this is a 50-something-year-old person. This wasn't a child. This wasn't someone that thinks I have forever to live. This is someone that is half 100. Like, we're closer to the end. Our road is midway. And I'm not saying the 100 is the end of it, but you're closer to that side than you are to the birthing side, the beginning of life. Absolutely. And you would leave that to chance? I mean, do you find that a lot of people leave that to chance?
I have heard so many things. It really is appalling. I mean, every type of excuse. And again, I think that kind of lends itself, you mentioned it earlier about the education, just education of it all. I think that really does lend to the lack of education that a lot of people have behind having the proper planning. Right. And, when it comes down to it, you just want to make sure you're not being a burden to your family members and friends.
I think some people don't care. They think, I'm done. Sure. They don't have to look you in the face.
I've heard that before.
Because I've actually, people like, you know what, well, I don't have to face them, like the embarrassment. Yeah. But I think as a wife, I would be embarrassed if I was married. My husband and I had a home, cars, travel, this, that, and the other, but we didn't prepare. Yeah. And I just say as a wife, because sometimes it happens in relationships. Absolutely. Sometimes, unfortunately, it happens with mothers that have children, then they don't prepare. So, what do you tell spouses?
Yeah, that's a great question. First and foremost,
because no one wants to think of death. That's the first thing.
Absolutely.
I don't want to talk about it.
We don't, but I think that one of the things we can't be ignorant to is the fact that we had a pandemic that didn't discriminate against anybody's age or gender or any of that, right? And so we have to remember that things happen. It's better to have and not need than need and not have. I live by that. Exactly. And while we can't necessarily predict what's going to happen, we can always prepare. At the end of the day, I always encourage people, when you're in relationships, whatever the relationship looks like, whether you're married or, it's just a dating relationship, whatever it is, you're co-parenting, have a plan with that spouse. One parent or one person should not be out of the loop. Right. Both people should be in the know with what the plans look like. Again, we can't control what may happen. So we really have to do our due diligence to make sure we're getting in front of a professional.
Right.
We're having the conversation. We're talking through what makes sense for, those your prospective families.
Exactly.
And then we're executing that. Right. But a lot of times you see one person takes on the burden of that, the other is not in the know, something happens to the one person. There's all kinds of scenarios. Again, we can't predict what's going to happen to us, but better to have and not need than need and not have.
Exactly.
The cost of funeral expenses alone, especially on the after the pandemic, are really mounting to $15,000-$20,000, right?
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money for a lot of people.
And who wants a payment plan for that?
Correct.
When you could have prepared prior to that and have it completely paid off.
Yeah.
Who wants to go into a sit-down situation with a funeral director, and now we're setting up a payment plan?
Absolutely.
When you could have made a payment plan for way less prior to, and might even came out with a return, a return.
Absolutely. I mean, there's generational wealth. There's all kind of factors that are built in. Again, it lends to the education, but being able to leave behind your loved ones. Everyone has people that they love and care about.
Exactly.
And put yourself in their shoes, right? God forbid something were to happen to them. How would you feel being kind of left out without resources?
Exactly.
And we can't set ourselves up to fail just by simply saying, I can't afford this, or I don't have time to do this, or whatever. It
I'm
needs
too young.
to be your priority.
Some people think I'm too young.
Yeah, and that's even more unfortunate than I don't have the money for this because, again, you're never too young.
Right.
I've done planning for my children. They're babies, right?
Exactly.
So being able to just have these hard conversations will save them down the road from being a lot harder situations.
And I agree, because one of the things to me is we can sit down as a couple and we can plan to purchase that $300,000 home.
Sure.
We can sit down as a couple and we can go over our budget. We can sit down as a couple and we can plan that trip to Jamaica. We can sit down as a couple and we can plan how we're going to buy that next SUV.
Sure.
We can sit down as a couple and decide how we're going to send kids to college. So there's all these things in conversation that we can sit down and have. We can even sit down and have that conversation how we're going to put our mother-in-law in a nursing home. As because I use mother-in-law because that's usually the pun, the stick, and how how we're going to do that. But we don't sit down and discuss how we're going to do the final preparations for one another. These hard conversations have to be had, and the best way to have them is with a licensed agent. If Keri can direct you, am I safe to say that?
Sure.
If you need direction, if you need an agent, Keri is an associate partner, which is a financial services professional with New York Life Insurance. So it's not just life insurance. If you need to plan college planning, retirement planning, long-term care, individual disability, business solutions, Keri's firm, New York Life Insurance, can help you with that. So tell us the college planning part. So many graduations coming up. Congrats to all of our graduates that are going to be graduating next week. Most of them are next week, and then the weeks to follow, or so forth. What is college planning when you come to New York Life Insurance, or how should college planning be looked at? And when should it be looked at? Because so many people now, I would think if you're going to college tomorrow, it's not the good time to look.
Yeah, probably a little bit short on time. You're a little bit late. I know they say better late than never, but
that's a little too late.
Congrats to all the impending graduations for high school and college, and even my son will be graduating actually in a few weeks from preschool. So he'll be going into kindergarten in the fall. But that kind of lends me to my next point about the early planning. My husband and I have sat down and drilled down a plan when they were babies, right? And so again, that's a deeper conversation that you would have to have with a professional about what that looks like for your family. But the earlier the better, really. With anything, with any planning, you are the youngest, you are the healthiest when you are, the earlier that you start doing that planning. A lot of people kind of think they can wait when it comes to college planning, and then unfortunately
student loans.
Correct. And student loans are difficult,
yes,
right? That's a whole other conversation. We talk about interest and things like that.
We're not even going to talk about that.
Yes. We'll be here all night, but realistically, you want to make sure that you're doing the early planning because of the fact that it helps to lay the foundation for what you want to do for your children and what you want to accomplish for them.
Well, I kind of like the order that this is set up in, because then retirement planning. So many of us so many of us can't retire.
Sure.
And we end up having to work from 15, 16, all the way up to our 70s. You know, it should be a period, a cutoff period, where we can say, you know what, I can work 1 day a week. I can relax. I can work never. I'm done. You know, I'm done at this point. I've worked, 25, 30, 35 years. How important is retirement planning, and when should you start that?
Yeah, well, again, same sentiments as before with planning earlier, but I think the really big misconception with retirement planning is that you have time to wait and you can rely on Social Security.
Yes.
And so, unfortunately, as I always tell my clients, the bills don't stop just because you retire.
Exactly.
Right? And so that's congratulations, that's awesome, but you still have to live.
Right.
And, at the end of the day, retirement is 366 Saturdays. You're not spending less money in retirement. If anything, I always say, what do you do on a Saturday? They're like, I'm out at Target, I'm out at the grocery store. I'm like, okay, that's every single day. So imagine being in a position where you can't realistically live day to day because of the expenses and because you can't afford to do so. So we talk about how to not outlive your assets, and that's important as well.
Okay. So you definitely got to plan for retirement. You got to plan for college. Right now, like I said, so many people are getting ready to graduate, and they think, you know what? I have forever before I retire. I don't need to do that now. I'm still young, but you know what? Those 25 years go by very fast.
Absolutely.
Or those 30 years go. I know people that have worked 30 years.
Yeah.
I have a sister that's getting ready to retire, and it's like, you have earned it. You do not, or you should not be required to work full time, in my mind, at 70.
Sure.
That should be a want. That should be I feel good, I want to do it, not I have to do it. So definitely you want to check with, a licensed professional agent. Once again, if you wanted to speak with Keri in reference to life insurance, college planning, retirement planning, long-term care, individual disability, or even business solutions, you can reach out to her at K Washington B, and Washington is just as you hear it, K Washington B as in boy, the letter B, at newyorklife.com, correct? And she'll be more than glad to shoot her an email, shoot her a question, and if she can't answer it, she'll get the answer for you. And if she can assist you, she'll direct you to a licensed agent. So, with that being said, don't go away. We're going to be right back after this commercial with more Girl Let's Talk. Hello, I'm Erica, owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious dessert. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco-Louisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco-Louisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or an email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here, and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network. Ready when you are.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Hello, I'm Erica, owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious dessert. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love.
Imagine living without pain. For over 35 years, Doctors Beebe and Doyle have helped thousands of people find relief from all types of pain. Millville Chiropractic Center has 4 doctors on staff specializing in hands-on or light-touch, drug-free pain relief methods. The examination, x-rays, therapies, and adjustments are all performed at one location. Schedule a consultation today. Enjoy life without pain and discomfort. Millville Chiropractic Center, the area's #1 pain relief center.
And welcome back to Girl, Let's Talk. You know, I just really love this show. I love it. I love when I get to have great guests on that I can talk to and learn from. And our guest today is Keri Washington Ba. She is an associate partner with New York Life, where they have life insurance, college planning, retirement planning, long-term care, individual disability, and business solutions. And Keri, you know, before we went to break, we were talking about life insurance, the importance of it. We were talking about college planning, retirement planning, and then we got to long-term care. Mm-hmm. You know, long-term care, unfortunately, so many of us are like, no, I don't want that. I don't need that. I'm not going to. What does long-term care mean? Because first thing people think when they hear long-term care is, oh my gosh, a nursing home. Mm-hmm. But it's just so much more to long-term care.
Yeah, long-term care is extensive. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's different facets and avenues of it. The biggest way that I can summarize it for people, it's if you've ever cared for an ailing or sick loved one and you have to shoulder and take on the burden of the financial strain that it brings when it comes to having them, whether in the hospital, in a nursing home, or actually having someone come care for them in the home. Mm-hmm. Talking about what that continued care looks like, a lot of times people will say, my children will take care of me, or my spouse, but you know, you have to remember your children and your spouse will probably still have to be working, right? Exactly. There's different things that occur. So looking at how you're putting a plan or policy in place to cover the costs of what that looks like is going to be very important.
And I think you're right. You know, people will say that. They'll say, oh, my husband will take care of me if something happens. But some ailments or some disabilities or some situations are impossible for you to be home cared, you know, or to be cared for by loved ones because of the time that it requires. Sure. Some disabilities require 24-hour care, or illnesses, you know, and then some of them require professional care. Absolutely. So when you have long-term care, it's not always a nursing home facility that you would go into or rehab. Some of those require home care as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's going to be dependent upon what's best for your family. That's how the situation is realistically laid out. Okay. But there's different options for you, and I think that the better options depend on what planning you've done earlier on, right? So I know I keep coming back to this reoccurring theme, but you know, planning is the theme at the end of the day, right? And being able to look at your specific situation as early as possible. It's also never too late. You know, you get with a financial professional, someone in a career like myself, make sure it's someone you trust and you feel comfortable with. Right. And you can really talk about what your plans look like from a standpoint of that care.
Well, I think I like when you say early planning, because that's usually where we fall into the negative.
Yeah.
Okay? Because a lot of us don't do early planning.
Sure.
And a lot of times these situations don't even come up until we're in the middle of them. Like, oh my goodness, I'm hurt. I'm sick. I can't work. I didn't get Aflac from my job. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know, or my job doesn't offer this type of service.
Absolutely.
What am I going to do? So it's definitely something to look into. Google it, research it, call a licensed professional, get that help that you need. If you want to reach out to Keri and you want to get some guidance and assistance, or even referred to an agent with New York Life, you can reach her at the letter K, Washington, B as in boy. So K as in kite, Washington, B as in boy, at newyorklife.com. Don't wait. Let's not wait till it's too late. You know, that tends to be the thing people do.
Yeah, that's usually when people are looking to do some type of planning, when it's too late or they're in this situation. And unfortunately, a lot of companies will just not take the risk on.
Right. What is Business Solutions? What is that? What kind of business solutions do you offer?
Well, specifically, we go into businesses and talk to them about their employee benefits and how we can help out, school districts. It's a wide variety of solutions.
So you're good for a small business then? Like would you be into going into small businesses, offering them business solutions?
Absolutely.
Okay. So small business owners would benefit from this, as well as, like you said, schools, local small businesses that offer benefits.
Sure. Yeah.
Or want to offer benefits, because sometimes you want to offer benefits.
Correct.
So I think it's great.
Yeah.
So one thing that comes to mind that people always do when you're talking about life insurance and all these different plannings and retirement plans, they say, I can't afford it. I'm sure you hear that. You sit down, you sit down with them, you write out this big plan, and you're saying to them, okay, this will be this amount a month. We can add this on and this, and we can do a direct debit. We can take it right from your account. When people are looking at these services, and I know I'm not expecting you to be exact, because every situation is unique.
Sure.
And I look at it like this, a DNA almost, because I need to ask you questions, and these things will match you directly based on your DNA, your needs. What are some of the low end? What's like a low end for insurance? And a high end. And high end, I know, can just probably go depending on your health situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to quantify that. I mean, to your point, there's so many people in the world, right? So everybody has a unique situation. And so the important thing is to kind of really connect with the professional to assess. It's sort of like when you're buying a home, right? Some people may think $1 million is a comfortable budget. Some people might think $200,000 is a comfortable budget, right?
Yeah, 200, let's stop at $200,000.
Right? But if I say, you want to buy a house, and they say, keep it, make sure it's inexpensive. Well, what is inexpensive, right? It may be that the home is $500,000 and that's where your budget is, but you also may need a house for $175,000, right? So it is a difficult question. I would never want to mislead anybody, obviously, and kind of going down that. But, at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And so if you can really sit with a professional and actually carve out where your scenario is and what your situation is, they'll be able to hopefully make really important decisions for you and do their due diligence. Otherwise, you want to make sure you're with someone you trust that has your best interest in mind, so that it's not an a la carte, hey, we're just going to throw a bunch of things on and you're going to have to pay this astronomical bill, because it shouldn't be that, right? Planning is not that. It's finding you in the stage that you're in today and developing you towards the stages you want to be in for tomorrow, right? So Rome wasn't built in a day, as I always tell my clients. It may be starting small and continuing to build.
Well, it sounds to me like you need to treat it like a starter home. So you can't get that $1 million policy to get started. However, you can get that small $10,000 policy. You start there, just like you would with a starter home. Sometimes a starter home is just that $175,000 home, or that home that was on, foreclosure. I fixed it up and it was, valued at $50,000. So start with a starter policy if you have to. Start small, work your way up every so often, increase that policy amount. Start with $10,000, go up to $15,000, $20,000, until you reach that number that would be a comfortable amount to leave for your family and loved ones. So at least start somewhere. So once again, if you're interested in insurance and you need to get more information, you can always at least go to their website and call them directly at New York Life Insurance. However, you can always reach out to Keri at K Washington Washington B, the letter B, at newyorklife.com. If you're looking for employment, looking for a job, New York Life. Keri is hiring. You know, she's hiring. So if you have a background in insurance, you have a desire to learn insurance, reach out to Keri. She can help you with that. So Keri, we've talked about insurance. We've talked about the balancing act. We've talked about those beautiful children that you have. We talked about how being a wife and just making sure you make that time and getting everything in and making that planning early. Yep. What is next for Keri Washington Ba? Now, she wasn't expecting that one. What's next for Keri?
Oh, man. Well, you know, it's funny. I'm a firm believer in dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of hay that I'd like to make in regard to my career, and that's moving into a role where maybe I'm one day running an office, you know, a senior partner. These are all things that are on the docket. I'm going to be continuing my education and obtaining some more securities and licenses so that I can talk with people a little bit more on planning. But for me, really what's next is putting myself in the mind frame of continuing to be the best mother and wife and, you know, sister and daughter. And as cliche as it sounds, I think I always tell my son, if you're not getting better a little bit every day, right, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And so what's next for me is a very wide, large net of opportunity. And I think I really am the person that lays the track for that. I have my faith. I have the support of my beautiful family. And so being able to kind of say, I'm going to wake up every morning and I'm going to crush the day. I'm going to check off all my to-do list items. I'm going to make sure that I'm attentive, I'm in the moment, I'm present, I'm there for my children, because life is short. That's one of the reasons I got involved in the career. And, you know, my background is actually not specifically in finance, right? It's I have an MBA in athletic administration and coaching. And so being able to leverage the passion of helping people and impacting people, what's really next for me is to continue to mentor.
Well, I definitely would say I think you can do anything you set your mind to.
Thank you.
You're a beautiful young lady.
Thank you.
Very well spoken, and I'm just proud to say that I know you very much. And I think that we need to stay tuned and look out for the real Keri Washington Ba, because I think there's so much more to come, and that you have so much more to give. And I think that's just amazing.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. If you need insurance, you're looking for a job, you need some consultation, you can always reach out to New York Life and get information on all of their products. Otherwise, feel free to reach out to Keri Washington at KWashingtonB as in boy at newyorklife.com. She'd be more than glad to give you information, direct you, and connect you with an agent that can assist you and answer all your questions. And for me, I've had a great time talking with you, Keri.
Thank you for having me. This has been fantastic. It's been so fun. I don't want it to end.
I love Girl Let's Talk. And if you don't want it to end, you can always come back with more information for our viewers.
Absolutely.
You can also come back with more inspiration, motivation, and just direction on how to juggle it all. Because as you move up the ladder, I'm assuming that your juggling act is going to get even more aggressive.
I need more hands. I need more than
you're going to be the
arms.
octopus.
I'm going to have like,
You're going to be the octopus with the 8 legs.
Yes.
The 8 tentacles, and you're going to be just doing it all.
Yep.
So I'm going to cut a few of mine off because I have so many going on. But it's been great having you. Thank you so much for being our guest here on Girl Let's Talk. We really appreciate you. You're welcome. And for our viewers, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it, because you know what? Girl Let's Talk wouldn't be anything without you. We want to be able to motivate, inspire, and just bring light to what women can do in this world. And we can't do it without you. So if you are a woman, and men, you're not excluded, you can always shoot me some ideas. But women, we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you're doing in your community, how you're juggling it all, how you're doing that balancing act. You can reach out to me on Facebook under Girl Let's Talk. You can also reach out to me right under this program tonight. Write in the comments if you have a subject matter that you'd like to hear. We can talk about anything, whether it's a gynecologist, whether it's a mental issues that you might be having, balancing act with children, your business, if you have a business that you want to discuss and share with everyone. Our goal is to motivate, inspire women not just here in Millville, but around the world. So if you're watching and you have an idea or you want a discussion or a topic that you want us to discuss, shoot me a message. I'll be more than glad to do that. So until next time, I hope you have a great week. And always remember, I'm here. So girl, let's talk. Have a great day, and thank you for joining us.
This has been a QBC television production in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22 and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Twin Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.